If you've ever been called too quiet, too reserved, too serious, or simply an introvert, maybe this episode is for you. You may have grown up feeling like you should speak more, act louder, or blend in with the crowd, accused by others and yourself of shyness or lacking confidence. But what if the very things that made you different are the things that make you powerful? What if preferring deep connections, solitude, and quiet spaces doesn't make you less confident, but actually more self-aware, more in control, and maybe even more insightful than you thought? If you've ever felt drained after too much socializing, preferred one or two close friends over a crowd, or found more clarity in solitude than in noise, you might be an introvert. Many people confuse introversion with shyness or social awkwardness. But here is the truth. Shyness is the fear of judgment. Introversion is more about how your mind and body respond to stimulation, especially social stimulation. While extroverts feel energized by lots of external stimulation, introverts feel the most alive, focused, and recharged in quieter environments. Of course, not all of the time, but most of the time. It is not about avoiding people, it's about finding energy in the right settings. Introversion and extroversion are not fixed points. They exist on a spectrum. Most of us have traits from both sides, but usually we tend to lean more toward one side than the other. Some people are even in the middle. They are called ambiverts. Basically, people who switch depending on the situation, context, or even who they are with. Let's have a closer look at introverts' most common traits. Introverts prefer deep, one-to-one conversations over groups. They seek connection, not just communication. In other words, quality over quantity. Usually they have 2 or 3 close friends that they have deeper bonds with. And by the way, they can be the most extroverted with their friends, and that's what's so-called social introvert. They might attend a party, but only if a close friend is with them. While extroverts find it an opportunity to meet new people, introverts see it as having quality time with a friend. They thrive working alone, not because they dislike others or avoid interactions, but because solitude sharpens their focus and independence. Introverts are drawn to work that involves independence. They much prefer to focus on their duties over dealing with others. Some jobs can be great for them, like writing, programming, designing, quiet creativity. It is not about liking or disliking people. It's about managing your energy. They don't seek the spotlight, not because they're afraid, but because they find peace in stillness. Their hobbies are solitary. They enjoy drawing, running, gaming, writing, walking through nature, meditating, or getting lost in a good book. Low distraction activities, space to think, space to be. Now let's look at the science behind it. Research shows that introverts are more sensitive to dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Extroverts need more external stimulation to feel that dopamine kick. But for introverts, that same level of stimulation can feel overwhelming. That's why calm environments, focused work, and solo activities feel so satisfying to introverts. It is not because they are antisocial, it's because their brain is wired to thrive in stillness. This neurological difference often makes introverts more drawn to deep, creative, and reflective tasks. Things like designing, photography, coding, or working with ideas. Solitude isn't a retreat. It's where they recharge and produce their best. Science also tells us that personality is shaped by a mix of genetics and environment. Traits you're born with, and experiences that shape how you see the world. In fact, nearly 1/3 of the population is considered introverted. That's 1 out of every 3 people, sometimes even more. But here is a problem. Many introverts grew up misunderstood, told to talk louder, move faster, be someone they are not, just to fit in. That pressure doesn't create confidence. It buries the quiet power many introverts carry inside. This is why understanding your nature is so important. You don't need to change who you are to succeed. You need to understand who you are and build from there. Since we were kids, many of us were told to speak up, join the crowd, don't be so quiet. But what if the real power isn't in speaking more, but in speaking with depth? What if your strength comes from everything they told you to hide? Some of the most impactful minds in history, like Gandhi, Einstein, Elon Musk, and Warren Buffett, are introverts. They didn't lead by shouting. They led by thinking deeply, listening carefully, and acting with purpose. Being introverted doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're wired for depth, focus, and meaning. You think before you speak. You reflect before you act. You create, you observe, you feel things deeply. These aren't flaws. They are your edge. A common myth is that introverts can be good at public speaking or leadership. But in truth, introverts can be excellent communicators, especially when they speak from their heart. Many introverts treat public speaking as a one-to-one conversation. And when it comes to leadership, emotional intelligence, empathy, and deep thinking are powerful tools. True leadership isn't about seeking attention. It's about serving a mission bigger than yourself. And that's where introverts can truly thrive. Gandhi is a perfect example, a quiet man who moved millions. Even in the workplace, introverts with high emotional awareness often build stronger, more thoughtful teams. They listen more, they observe patterns others miss, they value harmony and purpose. But here is a gentle warning. Because introverts spend so much time in thought, they can also be more prone to overthinking and emotional exhaustion. Studies show introverts are slightly more likely to experience depression, not because they are weak, but because they internalize pain and carry it quietly. So if you're introverted, protect your mind. Make time for rest. Practice self-compassion. Create space for your thoughts, but don't let them trap you. Being an introvert is a gift, but like any gift, it needs care. Don't try to become louder just to fit in. Don't burn yourself out pretending to be more social. Instead, embrace your rhythm. Love your quiet. Use it. Thrive with it. Know what sparks your creativity and make space for it. Use your natural strengths to be productive in your own way. Choose depth over quantity in your relationships, your conversations, and your goals. Focus on environments that support your energy, not drain it. If you lead, lead calmly and with presence. If you speak, speak meaningfully. If you work, work deeply. You don't need to change your personality to succeed. You just need to understand it and work with it, not against it. Stop feeling awkward for being quiet. Stop feeling like you're less just because you don't seek the spotlight. Some of the most brilliant voices are not the loudest. They are the most thoughtful. And in a world full of noise, the thinkers, the feelers, the quiet observers, they are building revolutions in silence. If you felt seen in this episode, subscribe, like, or share it with someone who's always been a little quiet, but a lot powerful. One thought, one shift. This is light over shadow. Stick around and let's grow together.